Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Haas Show, powered by the MM Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Denane alongside Charlie Hossack. We are Mike and the Haas. Weather's turned.
Yeah.
Weekend's a little iffy this weekend.
Yeah, you might have some thunderstorms, but
You know, we had all week long. Sun was out. Everything
Yeah.
was nice.
my guns are out.
Your guns were out.
Yeah. No, we had a great week. I did a great week. A lot of umpiring this week. It was downright hot, which is much better for me than being cold.
So I played a golf tournament,
Yeah.
and there's nothing worse in a golf tournament than four good golfers playing well in a scramble. You can't make a putt.
Oh my
You
god,
can't make a putt.
that's not good.
It was. I mean, we finished fine, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were there all day long.
Can I ask a question? I'm not a golf guy. I'm learning from you. What does scramble mean? What does that mean?
A scramble means everybody hits, and then you take the best ball, and then everybody hits again from that spot. And
Okay.
You take the best ball.
So the
and
best ball.
on.
So like if we're playing in a scramble at 4 and you have the best ball, then do you? What is that? What happened?
Then
I see what you're
everybody
saying.
would hit from that spot.
Everybody still plays their ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, a good tournament, good scramble score
Yeah.
is somewhere. You know, winning score is 11 to 15 under par.
Under par. Yeah.
You know, not the kooky stuff that you've been seeing online because of all the cheaters that are out there that are shooting like 25 under par, 26 under par. You know, that's kind of ridiculous.
That's
but
absurd.
no, I mean we were aiming for 12. We ended up at 10.
Yeah.
But we couldn't make putts.
I have one other golf question for you since we're talking golf.
Bring
What
it.
does it mean by a shotgun start?
So a shotgun start means that everybody goes to a hole. You're assigned a hole. So we were 5A
As a foursome.
as a foursome. We
Okay.
were 5A today. And today there was a big tournament where they had two groups on every hole. So we were 5A, which means we were the first group going off of 5.
Okay.
And it was a shotgun start at 8 a.m. And so, which means that some tournaments, they actually fire a shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually do that, and
Yeah.
that tells them everybody to go, or horn, or something like
Yeah,
that, or they
making
just
some
say
loud
look at the clock or whatever,
Yeah.
and that everybody starts at that time.
Okay.
So our ending hole was 4.
Gotcha.
We ended on 4.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Because not
So-
everybody starts in the first hole.
Live Golf
Yeah.
does a shotgun start,
Okay.
and that's one of the things that Live promoted themselves because they said everybody gets the same playing conditions.
Mhm.
Because one of the knocks on the PGA Tour is that the conditions in the morning might be a lot different than the conditions in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so it was that's again one of the knocks on them. But they said we're gonna shotgun everybody,
Mhm.
and so everybody's playing at the same time, playing in the same conditions, and so on.
All right. Just to follow up on the other question. So we're in a scramble. So I'm luggage pretty much when I'm playing golf, right? Because I'm not a golfer. So let's say that I'm with you.
I'm luggage for a different reason,
Yeah,
but that's
but
all right.
you hit the ball. If you hit the ball and you get the best shot, okay, then we all get to play our ball from that point.
Yes.
What if my second shot actually ends up being the best shot of the foursome?
Then we play your ball.
Okay, so you can actually in a scramble you could have someone that maybe is not as good as some of the other players.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Of
more like
course.
okay, I got you.
A scramble is especially in a charity tournament type of thing.
Yeah.
It's such a nice way to play.
So I should never
because
like if
there's no
somebody
pressure,
invites
because
me.
anybody could come. You
I was
should
gonna
never
say-
say no.
I was gonna say I've been invited before and I've always said no because I'm really not a golfer.
Yeah, no,
So I wouldn't be bringing the team down.
no. As long as you can move the ball forward,
Yeah. Okay.
then you'd be okay.
Then be all right. All right. That's good to know.
And for this PSA for golf,
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we got a lot of good things. We're gonna play a show. Play a game at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a little bit of start, bench, cut.
Yeah, I like that.
Which we've done before.
Yep.
A little while ago. So we're going to do that. Dog and I will get involved with that because of basketball, some NHLs to talk about.
Perfect.
Of course, the Red Sox, Caitlin Clark. I want to talk about the National League pitching.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Bran Bello, who's been sent down to Worcester.
Yeah, hopefully
And
it's the last time we're going to talk
And
about it for a while.
and some of the things that he has said. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to get it, I don't think.
No, and the other thing is, and I think we'll do it during the New Hampshire sports section, is I just wanted to talk a little bit about some youth sports. I know we talk a lot about youth sports, but just, I guess, last week we did a segment where what's on Mike's phone. This is maybe what's going through Charlie's head of things kind of that I've experienced this week
Okay,
firsthand.
I like that. We'll call that what's in Charlie's head.
Charlie's head? Oh, that's scary, but
right.
yes.
Sounds good. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Yum Shop located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro and can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar, and of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yummyumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike in the Hoss to receive 20% off the Gingy Box. Now you can join I want to thank, sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit. I want to thank the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for sponsoring our Facebook Live and YouTube Live feed. And as always, follow us on social media.
Yep, you can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Give us a like, make some comments. We love to interact with our listeners.
All right. Opening thanks brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike in the Hoss penalty box during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. And we are finally hitting the premium weather where you can sit out on the deck at the Back Bay Boathouse overlooking, of course, Back Bay of Lake Winnipesaukee. Great place to get a drink or a bite to eat or some appetizers, hang out with some friends, maybe after you play some golf. So it's a great place, the Back Bay Boathouse.
Sounds good. Do you want me to go? Or
let me start. Let me just start a little bit with my opening take this week. I'm sure most people have listened to Overtime with Mike and the Hoss. This past one, we discussed Caitlin Clark. We talked a little bit about the Caitlin Clark, Steph White controversy. Caitlin Clark, in the past couple of days has done it again in the sense that she tied her own record as the fastest player to reach 150 plus points and 50 plus assists in a WNBA season. So she has first place and I guess second place. She's got it again. She's done it again, which just kind of reinforces for me how important Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA. I've had a couple conversations since we've done OT with people that have listened to the Overtime with Mike and the Hoss. And most people, Mike, actually not most, all the people that I've interacted with, 4 or 5 people, are in agreement that the WNBA needs to just put it all onto Caitlin Clark. Let her run with it. Let's get the WNBA shifted to this, because without Caitlin Clark, without the spotlight on her, the WNBA is going to disappear. And the interesting thing was, people said, and this is kind of interesting, they hope it disappears. If the WNBA doesn't want to focus on Caitlin Clark, they hope it goes back to what it was like 5 or 6 years ago, or even 3 years ago, that it was just kind of like existed, but there was just limited amount of fans, instead of right now, everyone, myself included, is tuning in because I want to watch the Fever, not because I want to watch the Fever, not because I want to watch the WNBA. I want to watch Caitlin Clark.
So, yes, we definitely have leaned into the fact that the WNBA should lean more into Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that that's what, as much of the topic it was. Caitlin Clark is not fallible. And if she's going to carry that torch, then she is going to have to tighten up her attitude and how she portrays herself on the bench and on the court.
Yeah.
And that is something that she has not been doing. She got into it with her coach. She doesn't play defense. And if the spotlight's going to be on her, if you want to be the woman, then you got to walk that walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily think that she's been a torchbearer for the WNBA the way that you and I and many, many others think that she should be, because she is kind of a little bit negative when it comes to the bench, how she portrays herself on the court. We don't like Jason Tatum the way he argues flat fouls, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Why are we giving Caitlin Clark a pass with that?
Yeah, well, we shouldn't give any player a pass.
Okay.
So we don't like any player that does that. We don't like any player that flops.
So if the WNBA, and I'll use Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for an example.
Yeah.
He falls down and flops on almost half of his shots.
Yeah.
He should not be the torchbearer for the NBA.
Agreed.
So Caitlin Clark is crying for fouls on half her shots. She wants things reviewed on half the stuff she is. She's not playing defense. She's arguing with her coaches. So first of all, I'm in agreement that the WNBA does need to lean into Caitlin Clark to promote their sport, but Caitlin Clark needs to tighten her act up a little bit and make herself more amicable to the general public, because right now she's portraying herself as a little bit more of a spoiled brat.
Yeah. Now, I obviously haven't had a conversation with Caitlin, but I think from human nature, you can clearly see the frustration. And my take is, I think a lot of the frustration has to be with the fact that the WNBA is not putting the spotlight entirely on her. So now she's kind of pushing it out different ways. And you're seeing that frustration build, where I think if the WNBA were to finally say, girl, this is your league, run with it, then I think we might see, I don't know, we might see a different Caitlin.
I was just laughing at the girl part. If they would do that, that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's a little chip,
hypothetical,
chip on our shoulder that that she's not being portrayed the way that she should be, and that she's whining about it. But she's whining. She's whining.
I understand. She's whining.
I have been team Caitlin Clark since day one.
Yep.
And that shine, it dulled a little bit this week when I saw her arguing with the coach, when I saw her arguing with the defensive coach, when I saw her playing defense, when I saw her arguing foul after foul, wanting reviews, and just kind of whining like a little baby out there on the court. The shine's off a little bit. I'm not saying it can't be, because she's a great basketball player, and the WNBA should be leaning into her. But she needs to be, if she's going to be that person, she needs to be the poster child of, John Q. Public. And you know what I mean? Yeah. To be accepting to all, not just one part of the fandom.
Yeah.
She's got to be more amicable to everybody. And there's a group of basketball fans or a group of basketball observers who can't stand the basketball player that whines about everything and doesn't play defense.
Right. I think we're at a precipice, though, with Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. We're there. I think we are there. This is the season. This is going to make or break where the WNBA goes. If Caitlin Clark, I'm not disagreeing with you. If Caitlin Clark can fix her attitude, and if the WNBA can recognize that she is the meal ticket, then I think the WNBA goes this way. I think if we continue to have what we're having, and we see the Caitlin Clark frustration, and she wants her coach fired, and then she's going to complain about every little ticky-tack foul, I think the WNBA goes down.
Caitlin Clark is one of the topics in our game at the end, and I'm curious on how you're going to do.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
Start, bench, and cut.
Yep.
Because she's got some pretty significant company there. Yeah. And I have a feeling I know where Dog's going to go. I'm curious of where you're going to go.
Okay.
All right. Let's do mine when we come back from break, because we want to do your I want to talk about the National League pitching right now.
Yeah.
On what's going on with the National League pitching. And you want to talk about
some youth sports.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be right back. More Mike and the Hoss. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss. Mike Dene and Charlie Hossack on the Pulse of New Hampshire. This is time for New Hampshire Sports, which is really going to be an extension of our opening takes, but New Hampshire Sports brought to you by Bailey's Bubble.
Family-owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite sauce is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you.
Have you caught what's going on in the National League with the National League pitchers?
Yeah, and it's interesting. I looked through your notes and stuff. Lots of information.
The Cy Young race in the National League for pitchers is intense. And there are guys, and they're all coming from different angles, as far as what they're doing and why they're in the Cy Young race. And it caught my eye this week, and I wanted to share. There's two big stories, and then there's one, that's an ongoing big story. But the two big stories right now are Christopher Sanchez, who pitches for the Phillies, who is challenging Oral Hershiser's consecutive scoreless inning streak.
Yeah,
he is at 50.2 consecutive scoreless innings,
and that got blown.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he?
He lost it. No, that's okay. It's still good. He lost it, but I'm glad you mentioned this because I wanted to say the nice thing.
How did I miss that?
So the umpire when
Thursday night.
Yeah, when he lost it. The umpire was great because obviously the stadium gave him a standing ovation, and the umpire. This was kind of cool. The umpire cleaned off the plate, and the standing ovation continued. And the umpire realized that, so he cleaned off the plate again to allow the fans to give him the recognition that he deserved.
All right, I obviously missed that, so that happened Thursday night.
Still impressive though.
I didn't think he was due to pitch. That's why I said I'm safe. Anyway, he set the record for all time for left-handed pitchers.
Yeah,
I'll give him that one. And he was just 5 innings shy of Oral Hershiser's record. Yeah. Do you remember when Oral Hershiser, when that whole thing was happening?
I do.
It was before the ESPN world.
Yeah.
I think it was back in the late 80s when Oral Hershiser was doing that. And, well, ESPN was around. But,
it was around.
It was you're counting on ABC. You were counting on the wild world of sports, and
well, they would break in.
They would break in. They were breaking in when Oral Hershiser was doing this, and
which was just amazing. And just something about Oral Hershiser too. I mean, I don't know. He's like a professor. Like he looked like almost looked like a professor.
He was really dominant. Then they won a World Series behind him.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, you bring up the Hall of Fame piece because, we talked about it last week with Jim Rice and Dwight Evans. And it's interesting, like when you start breaking down statistics, and I know we've done this on the show before, guys, but you're like, why is this guy in the Hall of Fame, but this guy isn't? It's interesting, because you have some subjective, and then obviously you want to base it on stats. And then we argue, about whether who should and who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Jacob Misiorowski, Milwaukee Brewers.
Mm-hmm.
Who is, I would say, changing the way pitchers are being thought of, because this guy throws 100 miles an hour like guys used to throw 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
In one game, he had 57 times he threw the ball over 100 miles an hour. 57 times.
Unbelievable.
He strikes, if you tune into one of his games, they're so fast because he mows guys down within 3 or 4 pitches. Especially the first 3 innings.
Yeah.
The first 3 innings, it's like 8 strikeouts, and he might throw 20 pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really amazing
boom,
what's going. It's just happening so fast. 8 strikeouts. It might throw 24, 25 pitches.
Yeah.
I had to do some quick math, but it's really impressive. You hope his arm holds up, but it looks like it's natural. It looks like he throws 100 miles an hour. Like I said, that guys used to throw 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And, we've said before, we thought that 95 was the new 90.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 100 might be the new 90.
I remember just when I was younger, when like you'd get a pitcher and they hit 100 and everyone's like, they hit 100 miles an hour. And that was amazing, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my gosh. And now he's just going out there consistently.
So there's 2 guys that I would put in Pedro Martinez category in terms of must-watch television.
Yeah.
When they're pitching, they must watch. Another guy, Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Who was a Cy Young winner last year. He's much watched television.
Mm-hmm.
He, right now he's running an ERA of 1 and change.
Yeah.
Every time he pitches is a potential no-hitter. Every time he pitches, a potential 12 strikeout game. Pittsburgh's not really hitting behind him, even though Pittsburgh's doing well this year.
Yeah.
They're not really doing well behind Skeens, but he's in the Cy Young race. Right now, my favorite player, and quickly becoming, I think it's hands down that he's going to be the greatest player of all time, is Shohei Ohtani.
That's because you like to gamble.
No, it's not because I like to gamble. I think that what he's doing offensively, but also what he's doing on the pitching mound is interesting. The other night, I don't know if you caught the other night, he's like on the cusp of having enough innings to qualify for any of the awards.
Mm-hmm.
And he got pulled out after 6 innings the other night, and he wasn't really happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of expressed in Shohei's way. That's one of the reasons why I like him. The other reason why I like him is just seems to be a genuinely good guy.
He does.
He really does.
Yeah.
If you've caught any of the TikTok social media stuff about, him paying respect to everybody else on the field, and how he treats everybody else on the field, the pitcher, the umpire, the catcher, all this kind of stuff. Oh my God, that's where Major League Baseball needs to focus on. I understand he's Japanese. I understand he's not an American baseball player.
Who cares? They should.
There are people that care. I'm sorry. There's people that care.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, focus on him because he's the greatest, and he's going to be the next Babe Ruth.
He's going to be beyond Babe Ruth.
All right.
I'm sorry. He is.
He's the modern day Babe Ruth.
Thank you. I'll give you that. He's the modern day Babe Ruth, and he is much watched TV.
Yeah.
My 5th wild card here is a little slap on the Red Sox. Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison is the Red Sox traded for Caleb Durbin with the Milwaukee Brewers. Kyle Harrison currently 7-1. He has an ERA of 1.57. He is in the Cy Young race. He's a dark horse because he's got these 4 thoroughbreds in front of him.
Yep.
Yes, this is who we gave up for Caleb Durbin.
Right.
Batting a whopping 191, going to Waltham to pick up batting tips. So it's really, Dog wants to jump in on this.
It's not etched in stone with Dave Roberts for the All-Star game in Philadelphia who's going to pitch that game. You'd think it's Shohei because that's his guy. That's not a definite with the way the Miz and Paul Skeens and Sanchez and
Yeah.
Harrison have all pitched for the National League.
It should be a tough decision. He's got a really tough decision. The American League is not built like this. The American League does not have the stars that these, like you said, the thoroughbreds on the mound that the
Right.
National League is putting out. National League right now, and I'm not going to even put Kyle Harrison in this mix because he's not elevated himself to must-watch television.
Yeah.
But if Ohtani, if Skeens, if
The Miz.
Miz is out
Yeah.
there, if even Sanchez is out there
Yeah.
right now, you tune in.
Yeah.
You watch what they got. They're so electric, and the crowd, you feel it in the crowd. And I bring back to Pedro, and Pedro used to have the K guys in the, up on the
Yeah.
left field wall, putting up the Ks. That's the environment that these guys have generated, and we certainly haven't seen that with the Red Sox for a long time. But even Garrett Crochet does not have this kind of electricity. They try to manufacture it at Boston,
Right.
but it's not there.
I mean, I remember even going back to the 80s. I mean, obviously Roger Clemens, but even Dave Stewart when he pitched for the A's. Like we would go to those games, and you had the K guys there too. It was just he was much watch TV, as you would say. I
think Dave Stewart was a great pitcher, and for a while when he had that splitter going, he was unhittable.
Yeah.
But he wasn't electric. I never found Dave Stewart to be electric like these guys are.
I'm not saying you're right. These guys are electric.
These guys are.
Dave Stewart.
This is
I mean,
Fernando
for Dave
Valenzuela.
Dave Stewart. He just won. Like
Yeah.
that was
This is Nolan Ryan.
But he also had the back.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
Dwight
Fernando
Gooden.
Valenzuela, yes.
This
Yeah.
is that kind of level where when are they going? Because I want to watch them. I want to watch them pitch. This is Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
Yeah.
I think Dave Stewart was like Andy Pettit. Great pitcher. Don't get me wrong. Great pitcher. But was it much watch TV?
Yeah, for me it was go to the game watched.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was a fan. I was an A's fan.
Let's
Quickly talk about a pitcher that is not ever, or not, I shouldn't say ever, definitely not this year going to win a Cy Young. And Red Sox pitcher Brian Bello, he was sent to AAA Worcester. And kind of if I had a take on this, that he's not worth the headache. We know that currently this year the Red Sox are an awful in every single area, really, but starting pitching. And that's probably one of the few areas that they're good at. If we were playing the GM game today, Mike, that we had played, what I would do with Brian Bello is I would leave him in Worcester for the rest of the season and try to ship him out of Boston before next month's trade deadline. They don't need him. I don't want to see him at Fenway ever again.
Well, you're gonna because they have him signed to a 6-year deal.
We got to ship him out. You got to get rid of him.
6
Somewhere,
years.
send him somewhere. Send him to the
6 years.
Yankees.
They signed him early. His ERA when he doesn't start and with a relative equal amount of innings is 9 runs less than when he's actually starts the game. The problem that I'm having right now with Brian Bello is the attitude about it.
That's right. My frustration with it is if you saw the past couple nights with the social media when or even just talking to the media, not social media, talking to the media. Listen, the media brought up a point like, listen, maybe you're not a starting pitcher. Let's put you in the bullpen. And he got frustrated about that. And I go back to, and I know I'm going to date myself, Dennis Eckersley was a starting pitcher. We don't really talk a whole lot about his starting pitching antics. Yes, he was good. Of course he was. He was a 20-game winner at times. But you know what? How did he make his bread and butter? What's that? What's that, Doug?
And threw a no-hitter for Cleveland, don't forget that.
Yeah. But where did he make his bread and butter? Right?
As a reliever.
As a reliever. Like it's okay to make that transition. And maybe I know Bello hasn't been around a lot, but you know what? Maybe you'd be better coming out of the pen. Don't make it into I'm a starting pitcher. Well, right now you're not anything. Right now you stink.
He's got the ERA of like 12.
Yeah.
So as a starting
It's
pitcher.
frustrating.
And you can tie in the Red Sox are horrendous right now, especially offensively.
Mhm.
The one good thing that they had going was their pitching, except for Brian Bello.
Yeah.
He's he's like this wart on the arm of the pitching staff for this team that everybody else has an ERA that's in the 2s and 3s.
It's
and then you got Brian Bello who's upward in 10.
Yeah.
So it's a problem. He needs to go work on stuff. His stuff is really good. I wonder how much the organization is responsible for this.
Yeah.
And I was going to say this later, but remember Hunter Dobbins?
Sure.
He's pitching for St. Louis now. His father came out and roasted the Red Sox organization because he talked about how the Red Sox, the upper management, not the coaching staff, the upper management wanted him to throw a certain way, wanted him to throw certain pitches, and he lost his way.
Mm-hmm.
And so he spoke praise about Andrew Bailey, the pitching coach, that it wasn't him, it was Craig Breslow and that crew.
Right.
And I wonder if the same types of things happening with Brian Bale, saying, we want you to pitch this way. We want you to throw this pitch because our analytics show that this pitch is better to get guys out.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. When we come back, we're going to run down the NBA, the NHL, and all that kind of stuff before we get to the game. And I want to talk more about the Red Sox too. Because
A little bit about the Red Sox. And maybe if we have time and we don't have to do this, what's going on in my head?
we got to get to what's going on in your head because we're all interested in that, Charlie. All right. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Mike and Haas and the Pulse of New Hampshire. This is something that we haven't done. Last week we did What's in My Phone.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get into the cobwebs of what is in Charlie's head.
Yeah, what's in my head? It's pretty scary. What's going on in my head is I've been doing, and you know this, we talked about it. I've been doing a lot of umpiring lately.
Yeah.
So I've been going to the field pretty much every night of the week. The only day that I have off typically is a Sunday. And it's been fun. I did this to myself because I wanted to see if this is something that I want to continue doing. You know, what level do I enjoy and all that stuff. And for the most part, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's been hot, but it is what it is. It's baseball weather. You want it to be hot. It's better than being cold. As you know, you don't want to get hit by a ball when it's cold. But this is what's been going on in my head. There's been a lot when you umpire at the youth level, right? And we're very similar, Mike, because our profession, we're both teachers. That as I'm umpiring the game, I don't want to say that I'm coaching because I'm not coaching. That's not what an umpire does. But I'm educating. I'm teaching. I'm teaching the players. I'm teaching the coaches. And explaining it. And you know, for example, if a kid balks, right? If a pitcher balks, I walk out to the pitcher's mound and explain to him what he did and how to correct it, because that's the level we're at. These aren't high school athletes, you know, and certainly not college or pros. So it's an educational experience. So I've been getting a lot of coaches after I've made certain calls that are questioning me, which is fine. I don't mind being questioned. But what I'm learning is a lot of the coaches that are coaching youth sports don't have an understanding of the rules, which concerns me because if they don't have an understanding of the rules, then they can't teach their players the rules. So therefore their players don't understand the rules. And you then you've created this chaos where they don't understand the rules. Or the worst case scenario is it's okay if you don't understand the rules. I don't have a problem with that. I can educate, you know, based on what I know of the game or you know, the game that I'm calling. But they're being taught rules that are not true. They're being taught myths, like baseball myths. You know, for example, I'll just make one quick example. I'm not going to name the teams that I was umpiring. That a player was hit by pitch the other day. The ball hit the ground and then hit the player. It's still a hit by pitch. It doesn't matter. By the ball hitting the ground first doesn't disqualify a hit by pitch. So
the coaches thought it did.
The coaches thought it did. And then it actually got a little bit heated from the coach's perspective. And I was like, holy chickens is really actually what I said. I can't believe that I'm having to have this conversation. So obviously I had a very calm conversation and explained to them that the ball hitting the ground does not make it a not hit by pitch. The player was still hit by pitch. It's a dead ball.
So I'm going to jump to a conclusion here.
Yeah, please do.
Because I've seen it with my classroom when I talk sports a lot with the kids in my class.
Yeah.
And you know what I realized? They don't watch sports.
Yeah.
They don't. The generation does not watch sports. They watch clips.
They're watching reels
on social media.
Yeah, sure.
They don't watch sports. And the coaches that are coaching today's youth are borderline of that generation. They're younger than we are.
Sure, we're
past them.
We're old.
And so they grew up in a Facebook, TikTok, X, Twitter, you know, whatever you want to call it, of reels, Instagram of reels.
Yeah.
And that's where they picked up a lot of their stuff. I see it with the kids in the class. They don't watch sports. They're unaware. They're aware of stars, but they're not aware of the history of the game.
Yeah.
They're not aware of the nuances. And I'm talking any sport, not just baseball, but of what goes on in a game.
Mm-hmm.
They just did you see the highlight of, so-and-so
making a dunk or whatever.
All right. But did you see the, 3 innings before that, when he threw 84 pitches?
Yeah.
I mean, it's those kinds of things that are going on. Or did you see the the 9 pitch at bat that so and so had.
Yeah.
You know, those are the types of things that I think are lost on today's generation, that they don't see that kind of stuff that's going on. They don't appreciate that.
Right.
And I think we're seeing that with the coaches too. I'm not knocking anybody who wants to step up and coach.
No, we want them
because
we need them.
there's a dearth of
Mhm.
umpires, but there's also dearth of coaches too.
yeah.
And if the umpire stops at one, if the coaches stop, it's all over.
Yeah.
Youth sports are done.
It'll be dead. Yeah.
And so I'm not going to knock it
So
too much.
getting back to my head piece is what's going on is I agree with you. I want these coaches to coach. I want to encourage them. I want them to keep coaching. I want the kids to keep playing. I want the umpires to keep umpiring. What I want is that it's okay to not understand the rules. I get that. So you just have to ask questions. I guess what I was getting at is don't make it confrontational when you don't know the rule and then have turned it into something that's confrontational when you're dead wrong. We coached together before and we used to ask questions of umpires here and there. It was never in a situation where it was confrontational, looking for clarification. That's all, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So, if you're not sure of the rule, or maybe they were 100% sure that was the rule, and then they're going all in. And it's just, I think that's the issue. So there's a fine line there between, knowing what the rules are and then knowing what the myths are, and then coming at umpires in a way that you can't come at any umpire, any official in a way where you're just hostile. And so it's just kind of getting at that. So that's frustrating. I would say 99% of my experience has been super positive. And I don't want to say that. And I really probably should have just led with that. 99% of it truly has been positive, but you get that 1%. And Mike, we've had these conversations off air. You get the 1% and you're like, man, do I want to continue umpiring? Because the 1% can be so ugly and so uncomfortable and so controversial.
We talked about it last week. I had to eject a kid last week.
Yeah.
And I warned the coach that he had to deal with this before I eject a kid, and coach didn't do anything about it. Come to find out, coach's kid. But anyway,
yeah.
It's a real problem, and the stuff that people see on social media with parents going berserk on umpires or referee happens on a very regular basis.
It's regular.
It's one
it's
of
not
the
an anomaly.
I umpire because we're friends and I do it with you.
Yeah.
I've been very open the fact that it's not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Because of the confrontation.
Yeah.
It's not something that I look forward to. I look forward to being part of the game. I look forward to being around the kids.
Sure.
But I don't look forward to the confrontation. And regardless, if you make a call out, safe, strike ball, whatever, half the people in there disagree with you.
Of course. Yeah.
And that
you can only
and they don't know. And they
Right.
don't know.
Right.
But they still disagree with you. So anything else in your head you want to share? Or
Not this week, but maybe next week I will.
Let's do that. Real quick, just to running around the NBA playoffs. It's the Knicks and the Spurs, and I just want, regardless of what happened last night, the Friday night game, I think the NBA is really good for having the Knicks in this thing.
Oh, agreed.
The Knicks haven't been there for a long time, and I'm not a Larry Dolan fan. I think he's just a crummy, scummy owner.
Yeah.
But having the New York Knicks. What's that?
Larry Dolan. I was former owner of Cleveland. James Dolan is the owner of
James Dolan. Sorry, my bad. But he's still a scumbag. Yes, having the New York Knickerbockers invested in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I'm kind of rooting for the New York Knicks right now, because even though I like Wemby and all that kind of stuff, and I like the core of the Spurs,
sure,
I like the fact that the Knicks don't have that star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, they get Jalen Brunson, they got Karl Anthony Towns, they have good players, but they don't have that uber star. They don't have a Wemby, and they just play hard.
Yeah,
they just play hard, and I appreciate that. But they kind of remind me of the Detroit Pistons back in the early 2000s, maybe 03, 04-ish, somewhere around there, where they were winning some titles, and it was just hard-working, gutty kind of performance. No big stars.
Yeah. I know we don't have to ask Dog about this because he doesn't like rematches. So he made that pretty clear. But who do you like, Dog? Would you prefer the Spurs or would you prefer the Knicks?
Spurs, for sure. Yeah. I like the misery of the Knicks. They haven't won it since 1973 when I was minus 10 years of age.
Right.
Before we go to break, because I just want to play the game when we get back. But I do have to announce that the Red Sox tonight they're playing the Yankees.
Yep.
They're away. That's a good thing
It is.
for the Red Sox. Their pregame is at 6:35. First pitch 7:35. They're in New York. The weather's supposed to be good. Again, they're away. Aaron Judge is out. Aaron Judge is out for
Yeah,
like
a
6 weeks.
rib fracture.
So I don't know. Maybe if they can win on the road, maybe they can close the gap. Theo Epstein. I just wanted to real talk with Theo Epstein.
Yeah.
He's come out this week and he's talked about his disappointment in basically how the Red Sox are being run right now.
Mhm.
Now he's in the front office. He doesn't have a role per se in terms of decision making, but oh boy, it's coming, Charlie. It's coming.
It is. It's coming.
Craig Breslow is he's on the hot seat,
Yeah.
and the Red Sox have that general manager, that president of baseball operations, that not only does the Red Sox brass really support in Theo Epstein, but more importantly, the Red Sox fans have a massive trust in Theo Epstein.
Right.
And I see this happening. I see it happening before the All-Star break.
Mhm.
That Craig Breslow is going to be out. Theo Epstein is going to be moving in. They're not going to want Craig Breslow to make decisions at the trade deadline. It's not going to happen.
I agree.
Craig Breslow will not be there for the trade deadline.
want-
It's going to be Theo Epstein.
I want to add one more little thing. Do we see the reappearance of Jason Varitek
Ooh.
when Theo takes
Ooh.
over?
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would almost guarantee you see him next year.
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back. We're going to play a game when we get back, so make sure you stay tuned. Pulse of New Hampshire, Mike and Noss. All right, welcome back to segment number 4 that is exclusively brought to us by Maine Love Water.
Maine Love Water and Seltzers are sourced from pristine Maine waters, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste in every can. Next time you reach for a canned water or a seltzer, choose Maine Love.
With this weather, it's so dry out there right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling Maine Love Water.
Yeah.
I got to tell you.
I was going to say, one of these days, we're going to have to crack this one open.
So we're going to play. We're going to play a game, something that we've done before.
Yeah.
Where we say start, bench, cut. So I'm going to give you 3 players, and I'll get to the fun stuff too. We'll stay with and you gotta say which one you're going to start, which one you're going to bench, which one you're going to cut.
Okay. And
Now-
Dog and I are going to be part of this together.
Obviously.
Yeah,
I'm
great.
not going to do it. You're going to do it.
Yeah, obviously.
And for time's sake, let's just go quick.
Okay,
Okay, so
all right,
let's
all
not overthink these
Let's
things.
try not to rush me, but okay, that's fine.
I would like to get more than one round in.
Oh, boy. Who's going first in this round? Me?
Yeah, you go first. All right,
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen.
I'm starting Josh Allen. I am benching Patrick Mahomes, so therefore I'm cutting. Who am I cutting?
You're cutting Lamar Jackson.
Oh, clearly, yes.
Dog, what do you got?
Start Mahomes, bench Josh Allen, and cut Lamar.
All right. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant.
I'm starting Michael Jordan. I'm benching Kobe Bryant, and I'm cutting LeBron James.
I would concur on that one. Dog?
I start Jordan, I bench LeBron, I cut the late great Kobe Bryant. Sorry,
Oh,
Coach.
wow.
Gosh, Dog.
Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Nick Saban.
Bill Belichick. I'm starting Nick Saban. I'm benching, and I'm getting rid of Andy Reid.
Dog?
I'm starting Andy Reid, I am benching Bill Belichick, and I am cutting Nick the Snake Saban.
Okay. Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic.
I'm starting Wemby. I'm benching Doncic, and I'm cutting Edwards.
Dog?
Same. Start Wemby. You put Doncic on the bench, and then you got to cut Anthony Edwards, who's always injured.
Yeah, the shine is off Anthony Edwards anyway. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb.
For NFL wide receivers. Okay.
What did you think they were playing?
Yeah, I know. All right, I'm starting CeeDee Lamb. I'm benching Jamar Chase, and I'm cutting Justin Jefferson. What do you got,
I'm
Doug?
starting Jamar Chase. I am benching Justin Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb gets the cut. Dallas Cowboys, you should have played for the Cardinals, pal.
Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett.
I'm starting Tim Duncan. I'm benching Kevin Garnett, and I'm cutting Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, okay. Dog?
I want to win. I'm putting in Shaq. I'm starting Shaq. You're going to win with these guys anyway. I get that. I'm
well, I was
benching
gonna say.
Tim Duncan, and I don't want to cut Kevin Garnett, but Kevin, the big ticket Garnett, becomes Kevin Garnott.
He's not gonna be happy, dog.
Yeah.
Anything's
I would
possible,
cut Garnett in that situation too.
Okay. All right.
Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Caitlin Clark.
I'm starting Asia Wilson. I'm benching Caitlin Clark, and I'm cutting Brianna Stewart.
Doug?
I'm doing the same. I don't want to cut Stewie, but you got Caitlin Clark on the bench, and you got Asia Wilson, the best player in the WNBA right now, starting.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders, Emmett Smith, Marshall Falk.
Oh gosh. I'm starting Barry Sanders. I'm benching Emmett Smith. See you later, Marshall Falk.
Doug?
Starting Barry Sanders, I am benching Marshall Falk, and I am cutting Emmett Smith.
Oh,
what was the
no.
deal?
I'm with Dog on that.
No.
Shoulder pads. Come on, man.
I love Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith was the product of an incredible offensive line that Dallas had. And if you look at Marshall Falk and Barry Sanders.
well, aren't most running backs
No,
product of a
not
good
Barry Sanders.
product of a good
Not Barry
offensive
Sanders.
line?
Not Barry Sanders.
Barry
He
Sanders?
was a one-man show.
Oh gosh.
Roger Federer,
Yeah.
Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic.
Yeah. Djokovic. Okay.
I actually said that right.
You said it great. I'm going to cut Nadal. So, but I am going to start Federer and bench Djokovic.
Okay.
Wow. I will take Roger Federer. I'm going to bench Rafa Nadal, and I'm going to cut Novak Djokovic.
Okay. All right.
Joker is
I would
out.
go-
It's out, Terry.
I would go Federer. I would start Federer, the man who doesn't sweat. I would cut Nadal
Yeah.
out of those. I
All
would cut
right.
Nadal.
So we're in agreement on that one.
Steph Curry,
But
Kyrie
I want to win
Irving.
the French Open, though. I want to win the French Open. I can do that with Rafa Nadal.
You could. Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard.
I'm starting Steph Curry. I am actually benching Kyrie Irving, as painful as that sounds, and I'm cutting Lillard. Dog.
I am starting Steph. I am benching Dame, and I'm cutting Kyrie. Kyrie, I don't know if he
Killer.
has it anymore. I really don't. This is not 2016.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it anymore.
He's so good at ball handling, though.
All right. Burger
Yes.
King, McDonald's, Wendy's.
So Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's. Oh, I'm going to start Burger King. Used to work for them. I'm going to bench Wendy's, and I'm cutting McDonald's.
Oh my God. Dog.
The same. I am starting Burger King. I am going to bench Wendy's and McDonald's. You made the cut. That's a good thing? No, it's not.
I would start McDonald's.
Yeah.
I would bench Wendy's, and Burger King would be long gone.
Oh, Michael.
A cake, a cupcake, or a brownie.
I'm starting. No, this is great. I'm starting a brownie. I'm benching a cupcake, and the cake is getting cut.
Let's see. I'll start the brownie. I will bench the cake, and I will take the cupcake out. I just think cupcakes are too small. I want cake. I don't want a cupcake. I want a cake.
Cake.
I'm a
Coke?
pie guy.
Coke, Pepsi, RC.
No, I'm starting Coke. I'm benching Pepsi. And do people really drink RC?
I was just thinking of a cola. Dog, what do you got?
Yeah, I guess I'll go Coke to start. I'll do Pepsi to bench, and then Royal Crown RC Cola gets the heave ho.
All right. Think about a ball game.
Yeah.
Peanuts, Cracker Jack, or nachos.
It's baseball. So let's say for me, it's
Yeah,
baseball.
yeah.
I'm starting Peanuts. I'm benching Nachos. I don't want to go anywhere near Cracker Jack. It's cut.
Dog.
I'm going to start with nachos, and then I want to kind of make it a little bit saltier with a little peanuts, and then the sweetness of the crackers. You're out, Cracks. You're out.
Cracker Jack didn't make it.
No.
Family Guy, Simpsons, South Park.
I am starting South Park. I love it. I'm benching The Simpsons. And sadly, as much as I like Family Guy, they've been cut.
Dog.
I only like one of them, so The Simpsons gets the start. Family Guy in Canada, Family de Guy, gets benched, and South Park gets cut. Never liked that show. Never liked that show.
All right. A couple more here. The Red Sox,
Yeah.
the Patriots, or the Celtics?
I'm starting the Red Sox. I'm benching the Patriots, and I'm cutting the Celtics.
Dog?
You really want to be on the enemies list, don't you? No. I'm going to start the Celtics because I don't mind the Celtics. I'm going to bench the Patriots. Not a fan, and I'm cutting the Celtics. The Red Sox rather. Not a fan.
I am a Red Sox fan first, a Patriots fan second, and a Celtics fan third.
All right, we get
Which
time
means
for
I
one
gotta
more.
We got time for one more. Tom Cruise, Matt Damon, or Harrison Ford?
I am starting Harrison Ford. I am benching Matt Damon and cutting Tom Cruise.
Likewise. Au revoir, Tom. Au revoir.
What about you? Who you cutting?
Mission Impossible. I'm starting Harrison Ford, and
Yes.
I'm probably cutting both the other guys. But I would probably bench Tom Cruise, head of Matt Damon, even though I like Jason Bourne. But anyway, all right. That's going to do it for us, guys. That was fun.
It was.
Do
Good
that
game.
again.
I like
We'll
it.
do that again. We'll be back next week for more Mike and the Hoss and catch overtime with Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse Podcast Network at any point, and we'd love to hear from you.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great week. Bye.